How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. But in the terms of weather, we are not joking around, no fooling around. This is a very active and serious week to the start of April. As today, we did have a marginal risk in California, and then we do have a large marginal risk in the Midwest and Great Plains, including Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. A slight risk that does include Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and a large enhanced risk that includes most of central and eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and north central and central Oklahoma. Okay. Tornado threat: 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of Point in the Green, one in California. The other one is in Nebraska. What am I talking about? Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. A large 5% chance of seeing a tornado in the Brown within 25 miles of the Point. In Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and a large 10% risk of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of the Point in the Yellow in Kansas and Oklahoma. And the black dashes mean that's a 10% hatched risk of seeing a tornado of EF2 to EF5 strength within 25 miles of the Point. So, potentially strong tornadoes in Kansas, Oklahoma this afternoon into evening. Wind: we do have two 5% chance areas of seeing winds of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of the Point in the Brown. Those areas include California and then Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas. We do have a 15% chance of seeing winds of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of the Point in the Yellow. Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas included in there. We do have a 30% chance of seeing wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of the Point in the red. That goes for Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. And then we do have that 30% hatch risk of seeing wind gusts of 65 knots or higher within 25 miles of the Point in the red dashed area. Hail: we do have a very large, broad 5% chance area of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or larger within 25 miles of the Point in the Brown. So Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas. We do have a 15% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger within 25 miles of the Point in the Yellow. That includes Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Texas. We do have a 15% hatch risk of seeing hail of 2 inch in diameter or larger within 25 miles of the Point in Texas and Oklahoma. And then we have a 30% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or larger within 25 miles of the Point. But there is also, that goes in that hatch risk, so there's a 30% chance that we see hail of 2 inch in diameter or larger within 25 miles of the Point in this red dashed area. So a significant severe weather system moving through the Midwest. And then this moves east. And like I said in yesterday's video, which you didn't hear because my mic died. Sorry about that, guys. But in yesterday's video, I did say I could see a moderate risk getting put out for Wednesday. Well, here we go. Moderate risk is issued for Wednesday in Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky. We do have a large enhanced risk that involves Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. And then we have a large slight risk in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Iowa, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. And then an even larger marginal risk that includes Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Tornadoes: we do have a large 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of the Point in the green. So Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. We have a large 5% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of the Point in the Brown. Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. And we have a 10% hatch risk of seeing a tornado with a probability, or 10% hatch risk of seeing a tornado from EF2 to EF5 strength within 25 miles of the Point in the yellow. So Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Missouri. And then we do have a 15% chance a 15% hatched risk of seeing a tornado of EF2 to EF5 strength within 25 miles of a point within the red. So Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Missouri. We also have a wind threat. We have a very large 5% chance of seeing wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of a point in the brown. So Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa. We have a large 15% chance of seeing wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of a point in the yellow. That includes Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, and Iowa. And then we have that 15% hatch risk of seeing wind gusts of 65 knots or greater within 25 miles of a point in the yellow dash area. So Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. We have a 30% hatch risk of seeing wind gusts of 65 knots or greater within 20 miles of a point as well in the red. So Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan under the gun for strong winds as well. Hail. We have a large 5% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or greater within 25 miles of a point in the brown. Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. We have a large 15% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or greater within 25 miles of a point in the yellow. Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And we have a 15% hatch risk of seeing hail of 2 inch diameter or larger than 25 miles of a point in the yellow dashed area. Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Indiana. And we have a 30% hatch risk of seeing hail of 2 inch diameter or larger than 25 miles of a point in the red. So Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Missouri. So that is for tomorrow. If we go to the day 3 outlook, we will have a marginal risk in Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Missouri, Alabama, Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and West Virginia. And then we have a slight risk in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Probabilistic, there's that 15% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of a point in the yellow, and then a 5% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of a point in the brown. That is the day 3. The day 4 outlook, there's a slight risk in place for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Missouri. And then the day 5, we have a slight risk issued for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky, and the southern part of Missouri. Day 6, 7, and 8 are all predictability and potential too low. So, like I said yesterday, there is a chance for a live stream potentially 2-3 times this week. It just all depends on how it plays out. We even have the chance of a live stream today, depending on how early the storms fire up. So, why they just went away? Oh, great. We're going to have this now, aren't we? This is not helpful. Okay. The tornado threat for Texas is there. It's just not as high because the LFC and the LCL aren't as close together. I'll show you what the Colorado State University thing says. So this was the first scan today. It painted that 10% chance of a tornado in Oklahoma. Okay. It now has a 15% chance of a tornado in Oklahoma. But the SPC doesn't say that like this is a learning tool. Okay. It's not an SPC tool or a NOAA or a NWS tool. This is from Colorado State University. It is a learning tool, but each and every day it gets more knowledgeable and better and more precise, and it's fairly accurate. The risk percentages aren't the highest, but like aren't that most accurate, but it does paint you a good picture of where the black dot shows you the most significant area it thinks. So we'll go to the day 2. The first scan of the day 2 did show a large 10% chance of a tornado happening, a large 15% chance of tornado happening, a large 15% hatch risk of a tornado happening, which is right around where the SPC says. This appears to be a little farther south of what the SPC says. Yeah. So Colorado State, the learning tool does show that farther south, and it does have a 30% hatch risk of a tornado, with that black dot showing the most significant area being along the Mississippi-Arkansas state line. The latest one shifts that to a more accurate depiction of what the SPC says. Large 10% chance of a tornado, large 15% chance of a tornado, significant 15% hatch risk of seeing a tornado, and that 30% hatch risk of seeing a tornado, with that black dot moving more into the Mississippi, Tennessee, or in Arkansas state line. Now, a 30% hatch risk, I don't see happening. And if it did, that would warrant a high risk. I don't see a high risk happening as of right now. Right now, I don't see a high risk happening. That could change, but I personally don't see one happening. Now, for the day 3, the first model showed a large 15% chance of severe weather, and then a 30% chance of severe weather, with that black dot being in Arkansas. The latest one now shows a slightly smaller 10% chance of severe weather, but a slightly larger, a slightly larger 30% chance of severe weather, with the black dot not changing anything at all. Okay. The hazards, though, for a tornado, it does depict a decent-sized 10% chance of a tornado and a small 15% chance of a tornado in Arkansas. So day 3 could be some tornadoes as well. Day 4, it does depict a large 10% chance of severe weather and a significant 15% chance of severe weather, with that black dot being in Texas. And there is no 12 UTC model for it. Day 5, it does depict a large 10% chance of severe weather, a small but still significant 30% chance of severe weather, and a 45% chance of severe weather, with a 45% hatch risk of significant severe weather. Now, on this model, this is day 5, I believe. Yes. So that would warrant a high risk, I do believe, or at least a moderate risk by day 3. There is no 12 UTC model as well. Day 6, 10% chance area of seeing severe weather, with that black dot being in Alabama. Now, by day 6, we really start slowing down on the severe weather. And by day 7, we do have a 5% chance of severe weather, with that black dot being on the Florida Georgia line. And guess what? By day 8, nothing. That says if you're going to have any severe weather, you're going to be down here by Miami, pretty much, by Daytona Beach. So hopefully by the end of this week into middle of next week, this weather starts to slow down a little bit, which will be beneficial because we need a break. This has been really crazy. And we're just getting started too. So that's the one downfall, is we're just getting started, and March had over 240 confirmed tornadoes. The highest before that was 235, I believe. So March was very active, and that number will continue to rise as we get more surveys and reports down. So, if you know anybody that lives in the OKC metro area, tell them that tonight they need to have multiple ways of receiving warnings, as a tornado or one or two of those could be strong in long track. Will be rolling through the air, could roll through the area tonight. And then by tomorrow, if there's a live stream tomorrow, it'll be around 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock is when we'll start. And we'll probably end up going until 9 o'clock potentially tomorrow. I know my live streams, I say go to a time and I stop. Depending on what time the storms fire, if they fire later, the live stream will just start later. If they start early, the live stream will just start the moment I get home from school. But I do believe that we might follow this system until 9, maybe even 10 o'clock at night tomorrow. So that is something to pay attention to as we get closer and closer to the threat. I would drag this video on, but I can't. Obviously, that'd just be boring and not fun to watch. Apologies for any of you guys that watched the video yesterday and it got to about 6 minutes in and it just went silent. The mic did die. It did not die in this video, but I'm going to wrap it up here. So if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. Tell any friends or family you have in the area of Oklahoma or anywhere in the risk area tomorrow, especially at moderate risk. Tell them to subscribe to the channel because I will be live streaming the event tomorrow when I get home from school. Like I always say, hit that notification bell so you can notify anytime I post. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.